Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Silver gets a spanking. Let's explore. A little discipline for the white metal. As is usually the case, when gold drops, silver drops even more. It takes a bigger hit on the way down, just as it gets rewarded on the way up. But there's a little bit of discipline for all of the precious metals, save for palladium today, a little correction in the markets. And that's what we are witnessing today. There's a report here from an article from Kitco first. And if you enjoy content like this, I will hope you will please come back. I do post daily videos, and also smash that thumbs up button. Actually, I take that back. Don't smash it, just lightly tap it. Gold prices are moderately lower in midday dealings Tuesday after hitting a 5-month high overnight. Silver pushed to a 3-month high and also backed off. Both precious metals saw some routine profit taking from the shorter-term futures traders following recent good gains. So essentially, that's a correction we're seeing, hence the term discipline and getting a spanking. A rally in the U.S. dollar index to a 15-month high today also worked against the metal market bulls. And so that is something we're witnessing here. In fact, we saw silver fall below the $25 ounce level. But it has some resistance for sure. U.S. economic data point to saw the October retail sales report come in just a bit hot at 1.7% from September, compared to expectations of up 1.5%. Sales rose 0.7% in September from August. U.S. industrial production in October also came in at higher than expected, up 1.6% versus expectations of up 8.8%. These reports had no big impact on the precious metal markets. So it kind of was in the area of expected territory. Global stock markets mostly firmer on overnight trading. In fact, the markets are marginally up higher today. The market indexes have been in a pause mode recently as traders, investors weigh positive corporate earnings reports against rising inflation and rising COVID-19 cases in Asia, Europe, and even regions in the U.S. We will see cases rise as it gets colder and people stay inside more. Joe Biden met with China President Xi Jinping in a conference call, with both sides saying the meeting was upbeat, even if not much tangible came out of the meeting. In fact, President Xi Jinping likened the relationship to two large ships for the two largest economies, and they will be best to stay in stride, close to each other, but not colliding. So we also had the Eurozone. Third quarter GDP was reported up 2.2% from the second quarter and up 3.7% year on year. Those numbers were in line with market expectations. So nothing really surprising here, but we're just seeing the markets kind of make their way. And you want to talk about volatility? Well, Bitcoin dropped 5% at one point today. The key outside markets see the U.S. dollar index higher and hitting a 15-month high. NYMEX crude oil prices are weaker and trading around $80.50 a barrel. So if you got the dollar hitting a 15-month high and silver taking a fairly big drop at over 1% today, but still not as big a drop considering the strength of the dollar. It very well could be that as inflation fears rear their ugly heads again, that we may see silver and gold actually rise amidst a strong dollar, the dollar index. And so that is something we have to take into account here, folks. And here's an article from FX Street that says, that the U.S. dollar bulls retain control near multi-month peaks above $25. Now, again, it got smacked down below that $25 region, but silver regained positive traction on Tuesday and then reversed a major part of the overnight retracement slide from more than a 3-month peak. And then we saw the sustained breakout with a 100-day SMA at 38.2%. And then we have some technical analysis jargon here with the $24.50 supply zone adds credence to the positive outlook. So even though we're seeing some of the dips here from the technical side, we could see that the oscillators on the daily chart holding the bullish territory and far from being in the overbought zone. A subsequent move upwards, the $25.55 or 60 region en route to the $26 mark remains a distinct possibility. And I had a poll that I had on my Sunday night market watch. We do these every week at 6 p.m. as the markets open on Sundays. About 75% of the participants of over 200 votes said that we're going to see $26 by the end of the week. Although right now we are seeing the prices below 25 again, which was somewhat unexpected here. We'll see how it plays out, but it's less and less likely now as we near the mid part of the week that we're going to see this happen. But it's a possibility. We've been seeing these bull markets. So this corrective territory, maybe we'll just see this kind of shelf or stair step, and we're on a landing and ready to launch for the next step up, which could be 25 again, and then 25.50, and perhaps move to the $26 level. Only have a couple of days for it to happen, though. Will it occur by Friday? Who knows? My guess, if we ran that same poll now, more than likely most people would say no. It's all about momentum. It's also about psychology. Where do the psychology of the markets go? And people see the price start to rise, and then they cash out. And kind of what's happening, they're buying the normalization of the markets. A fascinating move indeed. If we look at the chart, well, the chart kind of tells a different tale. It is fascinating to see how silver has performed over the past couple of months. We look back, it wasn't that long ago, back in May, when it was trading for well above 27.50. In fact, it was hovering in between 27.50 and 28 fairly regularly in a stable sense for quite a while. And then around the 17th of June, and we went between the 15th and 17th of June, it took a pretty big nosedive into right around $26 an ounce. And it kind of has traded at that level since. It's it's kind of gone down since, with these big candlesticks moving downward. A pretty big drop here, and then we saw an even larger drop here at the beginning of August, and where it got down to the $23 level as resistance, until we saw it just recently go back down to $21 here at the beginning of October. And it's been stair-stepping its way, or sawtoothing really is probably the more correct term here, its way back into positive territory. And we've seen that fairly consistently with these sawtooth patterns, but that we'd have a landing, what I call a landing anyway, here around between the 7th and 13th of October. So it's making its way back up again, although just recently we've seen that it popped down. How far will it go, and for how long? Well, more likely we're not going to meet our target of $26 by the end of the week now, as I just mentioned earlier. But according to this chart and technical analysis, it's looking good for silver. Now, I believe there's even some psychology involved in technical analysis, because when you look at this on the way down here, these kind of moves, is there a pattern here? It kind of looks like potentially there could be, and that pattern somewhat repeats itself here. But then it breaks and comes up here, starting a new pattern. But then again, I don't know. It's hard to really say, and what kind of psychological aspects can come into play, geopolitical and otherwise, to make moves in another direction. But I believe what we saw today was a correction, and we'll continue to rule out kind of any wild swings on a continued basis for too long. If you measure the times where it goes up compared to the times where it goes down, for how long that occurs. But, when we think about silver, we think about it in terms of it as a commodity traded for its multiple different uses, the most versatile metal out there, hands down, and also as a hedge, along with gold. And so when you see it go down, I believe this price movement is occurring as a commodity. And there's a lot of things, though, a lot of factors that I think are still coming to play, while I'm still bullish on silver. And even with this dip, even with this correction, I'm standing by my prediction of $30 silver by the end of the year. Will it happen? I don't know. I think it's less likely than not at this point, but I'm going to stick with my prediction regardless. But wherever we stand, silver is a way to inexpensively hedge yourself against economic instability. And I believe in it as a metal for that cause if you buy it in a smart and intelligent way. And you've heard me talk about that before, smart dollar cost averaging. So there you have it. Silver got a little bit of a spanking today, but tomorrow's a new day, and who knows where it will be. Could this be the landing on the stairs, and then we get to see a next step up for silver tomorrow or the next day after? We'll see. Let me know your thoughts below. Hope you found this video insightful, and if you have anything that you'd like to add to it, let me know. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to drone on and on and on about rating, commenting, and subscribing.